Hello, welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. Last week, LMU Community TV was given the opportunity to visit one of the best kept secrets in Harlan County. And to help tell you about it, here is Brandon Robinson, former weather anchor for WYMT, now the Media Communications Director at Southeast Community College.
This is Portal 31. This is one of the great things that you can visit here in Harlan County. Southeast Kentucky Community Technical College helps to facilitate and run this facility. But basically what Portal 31 is, it's a huge underground coal mine that you can tour. You can actively tour. You can go in and you can see mining through the years, through the decades, how they did it in the early 19-teens when it first opened, all the way up until the 60s when it was closed. And it takes you through an interactive tour, which is one of the cool things. We have animatronic miners who tell you about different points in history, and basically it tells you the mining story right here in Harlan County. It tells you how this, one of the largest mines in the area, worked, how we progressed from simple chisels and axes all the way up to the miners that we use today, the mechanized miners. So it's really neat and it's really interesting that something like this is right here in Harlan County.
If you have ever been curious about the aspects of coal mining or have had family that worked in the coal mines, the Portal 31 Coal Mine Tour is something that you need to experience along with all of the attractions that surround it.
Fantastic to have right here in the area, because I hear all the time, oh, there's nothing to do around here, there's nothing going on. There's plenty going on. You just have to know where to look. And I tell you what, I'm a native of Harlan County, and this was the first time I'd ever taken this tour. I'm kind of ashamed to say that, but very interactive, very interesting. It's about a 45-minute tour. It doesn't take very long. It's family friendly. We can take many groups, many people in a group at one time, and it's very interesting just to see coal mining is a big part of our history and our heritage. And everyone in every family in the mountains has had somebody that's either worked in the coal mine, a grandfather, father, an uncle, and it's always interesting to see how all that ties together with how we as a people, as mountain people, always get to say, oh, we're from coal mining families. This is how this works. And a lot of folks probably have no idea how coal mining works. They probably have no idea how all of this all comes together. You just think, oh, this coal, we put this in a furnace, it makes heat, it makes light. But there's a lot more that goes into it. And a lot of folks have worked in these mines over the years, and the big thing that's improved so much, and you can see this as part of the tour, is safety over the years. So that's one big thing. But plenty of things to do right here locally. This is a great tool and a great resource to have, and it's a lot of. I highly recommend you come out and do it, because I tell you what, it will really change your opinion on coal mining. And I learned probably about when I was about 15 that my grandfather actually worked in this mine here at Portal 31 many, many years ago before they shut it down in the 60s. So it has a personal history to me, and it was interesting to go through and see where he might have worked and all the places he may have spent hours upon hours underground. And you really don't think, you think of a big old mine, oh, it's a big old space. These guys, they were under there in very tiny spaces, very close-knit communities. You had to trust the guys you worked with. So very interesting to see where they worked and lived. And a lot of people now, it'd be amazing. You'd put some people now in this technology age into a coal mine, they wouldn't know where to start. So absolutely. The portal opened officially back in 2010, so it's still relatively new, but that's the great thing about it. A lot of things are still being improved. We've had record attendance, people coming in here by the hundreds and even up to 1,000 people per month. So that's great to see those numbers steadily increasing, because more people are learning about the portal. So that's really cool. They do tours several times a day. Usually takes about an hour to get back and forth between the tours. I believe they start at 10 a.m. in the morning and go into the afternoon till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They start at 10 o'clock in the morning, go to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So they go all day long, usually 5 days a week, and it's great to come up here. Like I said, it takes about an hour, so you can do the math on that when you get several tours in a day. And it's really interesting just to see how all this, how the evolution of the coal mining industry over the years. So I would recommend you come up and go through it. I tell you what, if you go through it one time, you'll be bringing your friends and family back, that's for sure.
The Portal 31 Coal Mine Tour is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9:30 until 3 o'clock. And for more information, you can visit portal31.org or by calling the number on your screen. In less than 30 days, all campuses affiliated with Lincoln Memorial University will be tobacco-free. A lot of questions are being asked about the new policy that is currently being worked on. We visited the tobacco-free kickoff last month, and our own Thomas Miracle caught up with Director of Human Resources Libby King, who answers a few of those questions for us.
I'm Thomas Miracle, and I'm here with Miss Libby of Human Resources. And Miss Libby, can you tell me what the tobacco-free campus actually means?
It means that LMU, the whole campus, main campus, and extended sites will be going tobacco-free. That is cigarettes, chewing tobacco, anything like that that is related with tobacco. Products will not be used on campus, and that's effective August 2015.
Okay, and can you also tell me how do you guys plan to enforce this new rule per se?
Well, we're not going to use anything strong, anything like that. We're just going to use encouragement as far as getting people to quit, and it won't be punitive measures, nothing like that, just some soft soap, things like that. We may stop the person who is smoking and say that this is a smoke-free campus, give them some mints, some chewing gum, or a t-shirt or a card that will show them how they can get some help to quit smoking.
Okay, and for the employees that do smoke on campus, is LMU implementing any kind of smoking cessation classes for them, or is it going to be on their own?
It will be partly on their own, but our employee assistance program does give some hotlines that they can call, and we can give them some other things like the American Lung Association has some good quit smoking tips, and we will help them as much as we can.
As more information is released on the policy, we will be bringing you the latest details to keep you informed on what you need to know. The newest swarm exhibit at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies is now open to the public and will run through the remainder of 2015. To give you more information about the exhibit and its parts, here is Public Relations Consultant for the aquarium, Carl Thomas.
It's every year Ripley's brings out a brand new exhibit, and for 2015 it's called Swarm. Literally, it's a Ripley original. We don't buy these from anybody. We have a team. We sit down and we brainstorm and we design it. We have aquarists, we have scientists, we have construction guys. And so we just thought it would fit in nicely with the aquarium because it's entertaining, but you also learn something. And that's what we want you to do, is have a lot of fun at the aquarium. But I bet you any amount of money that you're going to learn something before you leave here.
To find out more information about the aquarium and their hours of operation, you can visit ripleysAquariumofthesmokies.com. For many of us, our pets become a part of our family, whether they are our cats or our dogs, and we worry about their health just as much as we do our own. We are now in the critical time of the year when the heat becomes a major concern if our pets are outdoors. To give us some inside tips on how we can help our pets stay cool and comfortable, here is Dr. Julie Williamson, Assistant Professor of Veterinary Clinical Skills.
To think about is if you're concerned about your your animal, is can you bring them into air conditioning? If it's a hot enough day, it's uncomfortable for us, it's uncomfortable for them too. If that's not a possibility, sometimes you can provide them with like a baby pool, and so that way the dog can sort of run in and out of the baby pool and cool itself down. Sprinklers work really well too, and sprinklers actually work for livestock as well. So if you don't have a pond or anything in the field, you can potentially put up a sprinkler, and you may find that they take advantage of it. You may find that they don't too, but they are animals and they do what they like to do. Another thing to think about is that it's not just air temperature, but that the surface temperature can get really hot, especially in areas where there's asphalt. And so we try to keep our animals away from asphalt type areas because they do tend to gather in all that heat and then sort of radiate it. And one of the concerns that a lot of people don't think about if they have an asphalt driveway or potentially some of the roads around them is that when their dog is either walking with them or just running through the yard and happening over the driveway, is that they can actually burn some of the paw pads. And so you'd be surprised sometimes how severely they'll burn those paw pads just from doing that. And you would think that they would be smart enough to get off of the asphalt. And some of them are. But some of them maybe have a little bit harder time not chasing that squirrel across the driveway.
Be sure to stay tuned to LMU Community TV News as we bring you a new pet tip each week from our veterinary tech program. Several new laws went into effect just last week in Tennessee, and we will give you the information you need to know right after the break.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Servolution Health Services Incorporated was started by a group of individuals from area churches as an answer to the problems revealed by the Health Needs Assessment. Additionally, with their health services that they offer workout programs, and just last week we made a visit to find out about one of their special services that they offer.
What we've got going on today is the SAIL class, and that's Stay Active and Independent for Life, and it's geared toward elderly people to help them with balance and coordination. They do weights and they do physical movement, and can actually start out in a chair and work their way up into the full activity. But it's a program that we're geared toward our Silver Sneakers people, which are people over 65, but anyone can participate in the class. We average about 20 people per class. We have classes on Monday mornings and Friday mornings, and hoping to add more classes in the fall.
We started June 2nd, and it is a fitness class that stands for Stay Active and Independent for Life, and it is geared towards the elderly people to try to prevent falls. And so we work on aerobics, balance, strength, and flexibility. Our age varies from, the youngest person we've had is 26, the oldest person I think is 82. So it's a wide variety of ages. It's a wonderful place. They care for people. They make sure that there's dental, vision, medical, and then we have the fitness center too. So it's a whole body experience when you come to Servolution.
The SAIL program was originally started in Washington State. It's an evidence-based program. Tennessee went to Washington State. Some of the people there got certified. They brought it back to our state. We're the only other state in the country that has this program. We do what we call modifications in our class, where if someone is more advanced in their fitness level, they can increase the activity of whatever we're doing to get their heart rate up higher and get a little better workout. The class is specifically geared for that older generation who maybe they haven't been working out or exercising. We have several people that they've already come to me, and I think this is maybe our 6th class, but they have been dedicated and disciplined, so they've been coming every time. They've approached me and they've said that they already feel better, they have more energy, they feel stronger. You know, that's what makes it worthwhile. That's why we want to do this program, is to help people. There's just a variety of people that come into the Wellness Center, people with different health issues, some people that don't have health issues, but they're looking to prevent them in the future. So I've gotten to meet a whole wide range of people whom I've come to really love and feel like family to me.
For more information on Servolution and the services that they offer, you can visit their website at servolutionhealthservices.org. At least 12 new Tennessee state laws took effect just last Wednesday. One new measure targets 1 in 5 Tennessee motorists. The fine for driving while uninsured is rising 200%, totaling $300. Also, females desiring an abortion will have to receive in-person counseling at the clinic, followed by a 48-hour waiting period before being able to follow through with the procedure. The buffer period will be required even for cases resulting from rape or incest. Families of murder victims are thankful to see the Victim Photo Life Bill enacted. The law will now allow district attorney generals to present pictures of the victims to the juries that were taken while they were still living to be used as evidence. Other laws going into effect: lifetime handgun carry permits are available for $500. Anyone who sees an animal trapped in a hot car will have the authority to break a window in order to save it. Owners of Class 1 carnivores, such as lions, tigers, bears, must have the animals permanently microchipped. Sex offenders must disclose any social media usernames when registering. The statute of limitations for promoting prostitution of minors extends to 25 years. Officers investigating commercial human trafficking will be able to wiretap. Anyone selling property with a known sinkhole must inform the buyer. Racetracks and drag race strips will no longer be registered with the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance and will instead be regulated by the individual county in which the races are held. For more information on these laws, they can be found at tn.gov/topics/laws. Summer is upon us, and the Cumberland Gap National Historic Park is a very busy place. Coming up this Saturday, July 11th at 8 p.m., local talent C.F. Bailey and Shadow Ridge will take the stage at Wilderness Road Campground Amphitheater to present an evening of traditional bluegrass. Shadow Ridge has performed at the national level on some of the largest stages that include the Starvey Creek Bluegrass Festival in Conway, Missouri, and the Dumpling Valley Bluegrass Festival in Sevierville, among many others. The concert is free, and the Wilderness Road Campground is located 2 miles inside Virginia on Highway 58. The program is being co-hosted by the Friends of the Cumberland Gap National Historic Park and park partner Eastern National. For more information on the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park, you can visit www.nps.gov/CUGA. And for more information on the Friends of the Cumberland Gap National Historic Park and how to become involved, you can visit friendsofthecumberlandgap.org. Lincoln Memorial University will host 19 young women from Scott County for 2 weeks in July as they experience the CORE Youth Leadership Symposium. This program is a subsidiary of Pearls of Grace and is aimed at empowering young women. Each letter of CORE stands for a central tenet of the program, including cultural understanding, overcoming obstacles to success, roles and responsibilities, and education value. During the Institute, participants will stay in LMU residence halls and attend classes and workshops organized by LMU Women of Service and Pearls of Grace. Guest speakers will cover topics such as women's health, financial literacy, higher education and college admissions, diversity, blogging, resume writing and interview, and more. The Lincoln Memorial University Women of Service is open to all women who want to help students at Lincoln Memorial University by living as an example of service. Shakespeare on the Square annually features 2 of the magnificent plays of William Shakespeare, comedies, tragedies, and histories rotated nightly outdoors on Market Square in downtown Knoxville. From mid-July to mid-August, a blanket or lawn chair is all you need to view these performances. While there is no admission charge for general seating, donations are appreciated. The Taming of the Shrew is scheduled for July 16th, 18th, 24th, 26th, and 30th. August showings are on the 1st, 7th, 9th, 13th, and 15th. Macbeth can be seen on July 17th, 19th, 23rd, 25th, and 31st. And August showings are the 2nd, 6th, 8th, 14th, and 16th. All showings can be seen nightly at 7 o'clock outdoors on Market Square. Now we're going to turn to a segment that is brought to you by the Veterinary Technology Program right here on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University.
Hi, my name is Bailey Buchanan, and I am a veterinary medical technology student here at Lincoln Memorial University.
And I'm Laura Newman. I'm also a veterinary medical technology student here at LMU.
Heartworm prevention, especially in the southeast states, is extremely important. Heartworm disease can be fatal in both dogs and cats. The cost for prevention greatly outweighs the cost for treatment. However, many owners do not take the steps to prevent this disease. There are multiple ways to prevent heartworms in your pets.
The most common method of prevention is a once-a-month medication. This medication can take on a variety of forms, as some just treat heartworms, some treat heartworm, ticks, fleas, mites. But there's also now a 6-month injection for heartworm prevention. That way you don't have to remember it every month. So if you have any questions about heartworm disease or prevention, please feel free to contact your veterinarian. And just remember, when it comes to heartworm disease, prevention is always better than treatment.
Be sure to stay tuned next week for another segment from the Veterinary Technology Program. Be sure to also stay tuned right after this break, because Adam Haley brings you information on that terrifying accident that happened in NASCAR. That's right after this commercial.
Getting out of the military, I was missing this camaraderie.
It's frustrating when you try and talk to people that don't understand.
I would be talking, but I wasn't there with them. You just feel so alone.
I still had the anger, I still had the addictions, but we didn't talk about that.
Came to a point where it's like, okay, I really need to talk to somebody about this.
Family more or less encouraged me, go to the VA, you're a veteran, see what they can do to help you.
When you have family, friends, when you have the facilities like the VA and the vet center, it gives me, it gives others encouragement to keep moving forward.
It's okay to go get help. It's okay to talk to people, because it takes true strength to ask for help.
Talking with other veterans was the best method for learning the roadmap to success.
Hear veterans' real stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back. Sunday evening, the U.S. women's soccer team took on the Japan women for the Women's World Cup. Japan was looking to become just the second country to win back-to-back cups, while the U.S. was looking for revenge after the loss in 2011's finals and for their first World Cup since 1999. It didn't take long to see how this game was going to go, as the U.S. got on the board first in the 3rd minute and once again in the 5th minute on goals by Carly Lloyd. The U.S. would not stop there, as Lauren Holiday took an errant clear from Japan and turned it into the 3rd goal for the U.S. And then Lloyd once again scored as she hit one from the midfield line to give the U.S. a 4-0 lead just 17 minutes in. Japan would get on the board in the 27th minute, but the deficit was too much for them to overcome, and the U.S. went on to win 5-2. Lloyd won the Golden Ball Award, while goalkeeper Hope Solo won the Golden Glove Award. The U.S. now sits alone at the top as the nation with the most Women's World Cup titles, and the U.S. is still the only country to place in the top 3 in every World Cup since they began in 1991. The Sprint Cup Series was back in Daytona over the weekend for the unofficial halfway point of the season. Mother Nature ruled over the night as the drivers had to wait out a rain delay that lasted nearly 3 hours. Around 11:45 p.m., the Coke 0400 was finally underway, and when all the dust settled, Dale Earnhardt Jr. won his second race of the 2015 season. But that was not the big story coming out of Daytona. Once again, a car got airborne and went into the catch fence. This time it was Austin Dillon. Dillon was shot up over the cars just past the finish line in the tri-oval and then hit once again back on the track. But the good news was that Dillon walked away from the wreck with only bruises. Points leader Jimmy Johnson finished second, followed by Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Kurt Busch. The Sprint Cup Series will now move to Sparta, Kentucky Saturday night for the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. The Tennessee Smokies will start their week in Birmingham, Alabama, taking on the Barons. The Smokies will finish off their series with Birmingham on Wednesday and will return home to start a 5-game home series with the Biloxi Shuckers on Thursday that will run through Monday the 13th. All games except for Sundays will start at 7:05. The Sunday game will start at 5:05. To keep up to date with the Tennessee Smokies, log on to TennesseeSmokies.com. After this, we'll have more LMU Community TV news.
She couldn't wait.
She had imagined the day for as long as she could remember.
The anticipation had been building.
The shopping, the dress, the jewelry.
Celebrating with her friends would be the sign that they had finally made it.
Only she didn't make it.
According to MAD.org, teen alcohol use kills 4,700 people each year. That's more than all illegal drugs combined.
Car crashes are the leading cause of death for teens, and about a quarter of those crashes involve an underage drinker.
Don't add to these statistics.
Take a stand against underage drinking.
The future is in your hands.
One.
Two.
Me.
1 in 3 teens in the U.S. is a victim of abuse by a dating partner.
Numbers are important in sports, but now the number we want is 0. 0 victims, 0 offenders, no more.
We make up a larger team, Abe's team.
We're asking you to join Abe's team and be a part of No More.
So maybe you're wondering, what does it take to be on Abe's team?
Active bystander efforts. Step in when you see someone needs help.
Ask what you can do. Believe victims. Extend your support.
Act better everywhere and expect your friends to do so too.
Always be enthusiastic, especially in obtaining consent.
Avoid belligerent egos who coerce, bully, or threaten.
Alcohol brings error, and I will not leave a friend behind.
Join Abe's team and say no more. Let's be #AbeHealthy.
Lincoln once said, "When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. And that is my religion." In the spirit of Lincoln, let us support one another to do good. Join Abe's team and be Abe healthy by participating in active bystander efforts.
Well, that's going to do it for us. But before we let you go, we're going to fill in for Joe for just a second.
We're going to try to anyway.
Yeah.
The top 5 movies in the box office this past weekend, Jurassic World once again leads all as they win once again into the weekend box office. Inside Out took 2nd place. Terminator Genesis took 3rd place in their opening weekend. Magic Mike XXL took 4th place in their opening weekend. And it followed it off by Ted 2, which was in 5th place, I believe, in their 2nd weekend opening.
Right.
And this weekend, coming out, Minions. And The Gallows.
So be very excited. But that's going to do it for us.
I'm Adam Haley.
And I'm Ashley Hurley. We'll see you next week.